The Parashat Shoftim continues. Moshe's talked to the Jewish people, preparing them for their next steps into the land of Israel. One of the laws that Moshe introduces this week, and it's a debate in the commentators whether it's something we have to do or whether it's something that can happen, is to appoint a king. And one of the interesting laws regarding the king says as follows: Vayita imo, the king is meant to have a Torah scroll on him at all times, a little miniature Torah scroll that he would attach to his arm and carry it around with him all the time. The Karabo Kol Yamav, he'll read the Torah scroll all the days of his life. Leman Yilmad Liyirat Hashem Elokav, in order that he will learn to fear Hashem, his God. Now, the king has legitimate concerns. He's in charge of the entire nation, and it's quite reasonable to assume that he is probably the busiest person in the country. And the Torah is concerned that he will get preoccupied with other things and forget about his religious duties. So over the past few weeks, the Torah has given us those society laws for the individual, for the collective. It's given us the introduction of reminding us that prophecy is there not to decide law, but to give us guidance when there are in-between stages. And all that is great. But what when we're busy, when we're farming, when we're busy in business? How do we stay focused? So there's a law that tells the king that he has to have a Torah scroll all the days of his life. In an amazing talk in his Sichot Musar, Rav Chaim Shmulevitz Rama tells us actually this law regarding the king doesn't just apply to the king, it applies to everybody. And if we want religious growth, if we want to really develop a relationship with Hashem, if we want to feel connected to Torah, then not that we have to have our own miniature Torah scroll and attach it to our person, but we have to be aware and cautious of Hesach Hadat, of losing focus, of forgetting what we're doing. Getting so distracted in our day-to-day life that we forget about our religious responsibilities. And he brings stories from the Gemara, the story that seems so difficult for us to understand. Rabbi Akiva has been away for 12 years. Remember, he started his Torah journey really late on in life, at the age of 40. And as he comes home, first time in 12 years, to see his wife, he hears her talking. He doesn't even meet her yet, but he hears her saying, I wish he would, if he wanted, he could go off for another 12 years. And he just turns around and goes back to the yeshiva. He doesn't even pop in and go, hey, darling, that's so nice of you. We know at the end that he saw all of his achievements as Shali v'Shala, that it all really belonged to his wife. It wasn't for her. In that beautiful romantic gesture, he acknowledges that his success was down to her dedication and her sacrifice. But why in that moment could he not go back? And here, the Gemara is trying to draw our attention to the danger. Such a fine line between popping home just to say, hey, I'm okay, thank you, I'm going back, and just turning around. The Gemara seems to be suggesting, says Rav Chaim Shmulevitz, that Hesach Hadat, losing focus even for a small amount of time, can be catastrophic. We wouldn't have had the Rabbi Akiva that we did have if not for those 2 stages of 12 years that went back to back. He didn't break it in the middle. And so for us, just like the king of Israel, if we really dedicated in creating a focused, deeply connected and meaningful Jewish existence, we have to make sure that everything in life allows us to keep our focus, that we don't have moments where we feel connected Jewishly and moments where we feel disconnected. But Karab Kol Yamav, we will read the Torah all the days of our lives in order to have that connection stable and steady all the time. Shabbat Shalom.